Buon pomeriggio Emily.
Ciao, grazie.
Ciao, grazie, continuiamo in italiano, sì? E stiamo andando in onda anche su Facebook Live per chi volesse vedere Emily nello studio. Dunque, Emily, da dove cominciamo? Stai studiando italiano all'università?
Sì, ma
How long have you been doing this?
I've been studying for quite a while, but I'm still struggling with fluency and understanding.
Yeah, let's understand that.
Oh yes, listening is probably the thing I struggle with the most, but I've been studying for, oh my gosh, it's bad to say, but 10 years and I still am not fluent.
Okay, 10 years. So where?
So I studied throughout high school, and then I've studied at university, and then still studying, but yeah, I really think I'm trying to immerse more into the culture. I think that will help me a little bit more with understanding the language and really maintaining it, I guess.
Okay, which school did you do this?
So I studied at St. Dominic's Priory College, or I went to high school at St. Dominic's Priory College,
Yeah.
and I'm still studying at, it was University of South Australia, but since the merge, it's now Adelaide University.
Now, I've come across St. Dominic's Priory because we had some other students here from there. But, so tell us, where is it? And tell us a bit about the school and then how you got to take up Italian.
Yeah, so St. Dominic's Priory College is located in North Adelaide. So it's a small, it's a private Catholic all-girls school, R to 12. I started there in year 6. So that was in 2014, which was quite a while ago. And it was actually in my first year of school there that I was offered the opportunity to either study Italian or French. I remember it was quite interesting because our Italian teacher at the time, as all teachers are, a little intimidating, but you came to love her. And she ultimately was the reason I decided to go down the road of Italian. Even though French, everyone loved studying French, it was fun, but there was just something about studying Italian and the language that seemed really enjoyable. And over the course of 6 years, while I studied it all the way to year 12, and I completed it in year 12, it never became something that was like homework, where it was something I had to do. So I really enjoyed it, and yeah, studied for about 6 years, and then decided to keep doing it in university.
But even before that, you have to make a decision. I understand languages are compulsory up to a certain point, year 9 or 10.
Yeah.
And then you can choose. And so they're the non-drops. Why did you choose a language? What other subjects did you do?
So I do a lot of, so I'm also studying journalism at university. So if that helps for a bit of context, I like the kind of subjects of history, English, very literary-based subjects. And whilst Italian kind of lends itself to that, or a language kind of lends itself to that, it wasn't something that I immediately thought I would keep doing. But when it came to making that decision, I just thought I'm really enjoying Italian and moving into SACE. So at St. Dominic's you do, I'm not sure if it's still the same system, but you do MYP, which is middle years program through the International Bachelorette or Baccalaureate. Yes, that one. Yeah. You do that until year 9 or 10, and then you hit SACE, which obviously is year 11 and 12. And when that flipped, that's really when I started to enjoy Italian. I'm really glad I stuck with it, because NYP was really hard, but SACE, it just meant you could slow things down, you could pay a bit more attention to what subjects you were doing. And over that course of time, it really was when I had to make that decision, it was either I do it and I enjoy it, or I don't do it and I just, make that decision and have to live with it. And I decided to keep doing it, and I really did enjoy it, and I'm glad I stuck with it.
let's mention your teacher. Who's your teacher?
So I had two teachers throughout my schooling. I had Signora Zora and Signora Riccio.
Okay.
And I had another one, but they were the main two teachers.
Uh-huh.
Signora Zora taught me in Year 6. She made me kind of fall in love with Italian.
Yes.
And then Signora Riccio was my teacher towards the end of my schooling in, I believe, Year 10, 11 and 12. So she was pretty much there when I was studying in Year 11 and 12. She was who I would go to if I had any questions. She was a great support. She really assisted in kind of making things possible, understanding stuff, how we would study, etc. I remember in Year 12, there's I'm not sure again if it's still the same because it has been 5 years, but there's this big oral exam at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And she made it a little less intimidating because she would practice with us, and there was just so much work being put in because I think she knew how much pressure was on us. But they were amazing, and I actually went to Italy while I was at school as well. There was an opportunity to go to pretty much everywhere in Italy as an Italian student and an art student. And she came with us, and she's obviously got family over there because she's got quite a strong heritage in it, and it was lovely to see that as well.
Okay. So, well, let's think about how you go about the studying. You have tips for anyone who might be preparing for SACE? What sort of things did you do?
Well, it really was that I found NYP really, really hard.
Yeah.
That when SACE came about, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a breeze. I'm horrible at exams as well.
Yes.
So I really did play to my strengths in my final year of picking subjects that were, they may have been just a really big essay at the end of the year, and you would just work over it. I can't study for an exam at all, but if I had to give any tips, it really would be working to your strengths, thinking about what you can do with what you have, so that not only would you pick a job that becomes enjoyable or continue study at university that is enjoyable, but also, kind of thinking about how you can get the most out of what you've got. So as someone who loves English, history, studying maths and science is something I would avoid. And if I were to go into it, that's good and all, but I'd have to put in so much work. And as someone who's kind of like, no, I want to enjoy what I've got. I want to work at a radio station. I want to help out with sales and marketing. Let's just utilize the skills that I've already got and also enjoy what I'm doing, rather than putting so much pressure on myself for an idea that I might not even want to pursue.
Yeah. Okay. And were you able to practice at home?
No, I have got no.
So remember, your surname is Hegarty.
Yes. So I have got no Italian ancestry in me. The closest I've got is German, but that's just because they're right next to each other on a map. But otherwise, I'm definitely more Anglo-Saxon, so Western European.
Yeah.
So studying at home was really hard. It would be when I would come into school that I would get a lot more help, and even at university I would lean a bit on my fellow university students, and we would work together to study. There's quite a diverse range of university students as well, so not everyone studying Italian is Italian, which is actually quite refreshing. So we're all kind of in the same boat, but I didn't have anyone at home that I could study with. So a lot of it was just talking to myself, looking in a mirror, repeating it, trying to get the pronunciation right.
Actually, you just reminded me, for one of the merits a couple of years ago said she would talk to her cat.
Yeah.
Read to her cat.
It does help. It's like I had an exam last semester, last semester, and I had to memorize it. It was like 5 minutes long. And I recorded myself saying it, and then I would play it back to myself. And I would go on walks, and that was what I would use. And then I would read along with it, because it's how can I get it in my head the best that I can? How can I remember it? And then it just helps as well with pronunciation and all of that. And it's just weird ways that you can do to remember things.
State ascoltando Radio Italia Uno da lei, qui Antonio Dottore, con il programma di attualità e approfondimento, e abbiamo nello studio al momento Amelia Hegarty, che è studentessa di italiano all'università, ma che anche lavora alla radio. Più tardi parleremo di cosa fa. Fine. So far we've talked about your high school and Italian and how you got to speak Italian at home. You did it. You mentioned a trip while you're in high school.
Yes.
So is that 2 trips through the league?
So two trips through study, yes.
Yes.
So
tell us about them.
So the one in it was in year 11 that I'm not sure if they continue it again or if it was a once off, but there was an opportunity for Italian and art students at my high school to go abroad on a 2-week trip, I believe it was. It's a bit fuzzy now because it was 6 years ago, but I remember we actually did lessons over there. So we had to do about 3-hour lessons, so 9 hours in total. But then a lot of it was also culture and getting to experience life over there. It's so interesting as well. When all throughout, schooling, when you are learning about Italy, one of the main things that still shocks me is how different schooling is here compared to in Italy. And it always intimidates me still. And that was one of the things we learned when we went over there, about how you have to make these really big decisions on what area you want to go into when you are, and I think it's like year 9 or year 10.
That's right, yes.
Yeah, so that was a really nice opportunity to go over there. That's where I kind of decided that I definitely wanted to live there at one point in my life.
Oh, so where did you visit?
So we went to Venice, Florence, Rome, Sorrento, Pisa, Siena. Siena was important because obviously being a Catholic school, Catherine of Siena, and I think that's pretty much it. I don't even think we went to Bologna, so
that's quite a bit still.
Yes.
A lot of travelling.
Yes, the main areas, but it was when I went away literally at the start of last year to Recanati that I went somewhere that was a little bit different. So I'm not sure, are you familiar with where Recanati is?
Recanati is well known just because Giacomo Leopardi was born there.
Yes.
But then I discovered someone else kind of famous was born there. We will come back to that later.
So that person, yeah.
So Recanati, how did you get to Recanati? Is this a group that went to Recanati, or just yourself?
I think from Australia, it was actually only me and someone else I study with at university.
Okay.
So no one else in Australia went on this trip, but it's open to everyone, so it's not just students. There were a lot of students who came from South America, so obviously it being like a sister language, or they were, to be fair, they knew English, Italian, Spanish, some of them knew French as well. They knew a lot of languages, but a lot of them came over to study as well. So we were put onto it through UniSA, where we would go there for a month. We would do, I think, a 4-hour lesson pretty much every day over the course of that time. And then we could also go to other places. So they might take us to Pisa, they might take us to Siena, Rome, Bologna. We were there in winter, so it was very cold. There was not much going to like Amici, where Amalfi, the coast of Amalfi, etc. But it was still a lovely experience, and I had the best time. And it was a small town. And
so tell us a bit about Recanati.
So it's just this small town on the side. I wouldn't even call it a mountain, but a hill. So it kind of looks over this lovely valley. And we were staying in these apartments that the school would arrange for us. And we were right outside of the main centre of town. So like where you have that high street kind of component. And it wasn't medieval, but it kind of it had a very ancestral vibe to it, very ancient, lots of sandstone. It was lovely, and there was so much history to it. So obviously Leopardi, and Dante Alighieri was the school that I went to, and there was some play on that as well. But it was really small, but it didn't matter because there were some really lovely people there that we got to meet.
So this school, was a school for foreigners to come to study Italian, or how did?
Yeah, it was.
Because I know of Perugia, Università per Stranieri a Perugia, and there's one in Siena.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the Siena one, which ironically UniSA also does a trip with. But this one is, I think it's a normal school, like a high school for students.
Okay.
But over their winter and their summer, I believe they invite people in to study. And they don't necessarily have to be of school age. They don't have to be at university. So there were some people who were older. Like we had a few Americans who lived in the Italian countryside. They had like a home there. Okay. And they just came to learn more Italian. And it was all different levels, so it didn't matter if you didn't know a lot or if you did. It was very inviting and inclusive for everyone.
Ah, cool. Lovely. And so now you're studying Italian, and you said journalism at the university.
Yes, so I'm studying a Bachelor of Professional or Journalism and Professional Writing with a sub-major in Italian. So I do Italian every semester. I just make my way through it, but journalism is kind of why I'm here. I'm definitely wanting to get involved in radio, feature writing as well. So potentially maybe writing for a news publication. But ultimately, my goal is to end up somewhere in Europe, maybe in Italy, and doing foreign correspondence. I have to work on my language though.
Okay. Well, that's cool. So what you said sub-major, is that different from a... It's
like an elective that you keep all the time. Yes. Or if you think of it as a minor. Yeah. So if I major in journalism, I minor in Italian. But again, the university with the whole merge, my degree is slightly changing. Yes. So I don't even know really what to call them.
What is it going to be? That's fine. Yeah, so now we've got maybe a few more minutes to go. I said you're also now working at the radio. You mentioned the radio. You're working at the radio.
Yep.
It's been a couple of months now?
Oh gosh, maybe almost 2 months now, so very new still.
Yes. So what are you doing? What do you think you're supposed to be doing? So jobs always turn out to be different.
It's a very interchangeable job, but I'm probably focusing more on sales and marketing. Mm-hmm. I help out with administration every now and again, but essentially I just go to I just present the opportunity to become involved with Radio Italia Uno to businesses around SA. There's also the opportunity for other communities to become involved. Yes. I know that we've got a few of those on board, including schools as well. And then we've also got our listeners' opportunity to become involved with memberships. But what I'm focusing on is a partnership and a collaboration with businesses to utilise the opportunity to become more involved with our community. Yeah. So we've got such a diverse range of listeners, ranging in age, gender, even ethnicity, where they're from, what languages they speak. So it's just kind of going to people and presenting this chance to reach a whole new demographic of people, but also to support the community a bit more. I think it's just important to remember, obviously, who's listening and who we reach out to, and reminding people that this is the people behind Radio Italia. So just lots of that, and then obviously sales, and we're doing a lot more social media as well. So stay tuned. You may see a few more reels coming up every now and again.
I saw you're interviewing people, artists from the French.
Yes.
That's coming up soon.
Yes, so we've got a few shows coming up. We've got Claudio Enrico, I believe it may be this next Sunday or Saturday. I believe it's Sunday. I'm interviewing Emma Di Maria. So she is the creator of Di Maria e Sinatra, and she is performing at Bavard during the French. And then we've also got this other performer who does the CAN principle, Johnny Pavlovsky, I believe his name is. So we've got a few people that we're introducing to the station, and a few presenters will be interviewing them. But it's just a great opportunity to let's show Radio Italia Uno more to Adelaide.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll say thank you to Emily for having come into the studio and have a chat with us, with me, and good luck with the studies and best wishes for the work too.
That's it.
Okay, and we'll close off, we'll say goodbye on Facebook Live.